So, hello, love. So, some of you have heard me talk about the seated cafe, and it's my backyard. I put out all kinds of bird seed for the birds, which has ended up feeding some of the bunnies, some of the squirrels, um, but all kinds of birds. And recently, I've had an entire flock of what are they called? Let's see, red-winged blackbirds, and they have this beautiful call, and they come in a flock of like 80 to 100 birds, and they all land for about 5 minutes, eat everything up, and then fly away all at once. But I have finches and I have all kinds of different types of birds all year long. And I also leave a small dish like this of chopped up apples in water, and that's for the bees. We have a lot of plants on the property and around us, of course, and other neighbors that have flowering plants, but it's getting to be that time of year where those are dwindling, but the bees are still out. So we leave them apples in water. They eat the apples. They also drink the water. I also have a hummingbird feeder, and as long as the hummingbirds are here before they move south, um, I have uh, I have this sweet little hummingbird feeder. And it's just an amazing thing to watch what the backyard has become this wonderful place of life. And whatever I put out there, other critters come to eat from that same thing. So the 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 rabbits eat the bird food and they eat the apples and the birds eat the apples. And it's so it continues on, but it reminds me of what we do in life when we put our seed out. We put our the best that we have out, the food we have out, and we leave food for people, not literal food. I mean, literal food is important, but if we have things that we have that feed people, that feed the minds and feed the hearts of people around us, and also feed the plant kingdom and feed all kinds of different type of animals. A lot of that is done with the energy of which we live within, the resonant quality of which we live our lives when we are living from a loving nature, living from a peaceful nature. It takes a lot of energy to do that and not get caught up in the ways of the world and get it caught up in what the latest news is, or the latest bad news, or whatever's going on, where there are certainly circumstances to be concerned about and to be aware of, but not to allow those things to take us over. So those are the seeds that we plant. And the seeds that we plant feed more than just who it is that we have it directed towards. So think about what it is you're doing in life and who it is that you're generating your seeds towards. Your the words you choose, the thoughts you think, your ways of being, and how does that affect you when you think those thoughts, when you're feeling those certain feelings about situations around you? And if it's not in a life-giving way, if it's not in a way that's positive or helpful or meaningful or makes you feel good, it's not going to make anyone else feel good either. So shift gears, shift what it is you're feeding yourself so that what it is that you're feeding others is life-giving. So I've been doing this seated cafe thing for almost 2 years, and it brings me tremendous joy. Gives my cat something to do to sit out the window and watch the birds and the bunnies and the squirrels and whoever comes to dine at the seated cafe. And then we've got the bees, and the bees don't bother me. My husband is one where bees come and hang around him all the time, but they come and land on me, and it's no big deal. It doesn't bother me. And I've never been stung by a bee. So feel very fortunate there. But you just think about the life around you and how it continues to thrive and things continue to change and grow and become something even better. And maybe you have something to do with that. Maybe what it is you're doing is of benefit. I had someone send me a card in the mail that I received today, and it was this great card. I won't tell you who it is, but it was a card that said, when she was little, she's a relative of mine, and we would go to the Natural History Museum and look at the dioramas, which are where they have the animals and the beautiful paintings in the background. And they're all little kind of elves and characters that are in those dioramas too. And I showed her those things as a child. And here she is. It's like 40 years later. She sent me this card and she said, "This reminded me of when you took me to the museum and you showed me." And it was this cute little card of a mushroom that looked like a little elf's house. And it was just the cutest thing. So you never know the seed you're going to plant. You never know what it is you're going to do when uh, you do something for someone and it still stays with them. So she made my day by sending me that card. So that card was a seed that she planted with me, and I will keep it. And every time I look at it, it will remind me of the love that I have for this lovely woman now and how I loved her when she was a little girl and how special our relationship is. But what kind of seeds do I plant? What is it that I do that stays with someone? I thought about that today. And so do your best to do what you can in the world, to be present with someone, to give them a kind gaze or a smile, or thank them for their excellence, or whatever it is that they might be doing that you benefit from it, and you really notice how they're going out of their way to do their job well. Or with someone in your family. My husband brought me flowers today. I was like, wow, this has been a great day. So, plant those seeds and reap those rewards and know full well that it makes a huge difference in someone's life. And so I leave that with you today. I hope that's meaningful to you because I know that the seeds that I plant make a big difference. What and it comes from my intentions and what it is I'm intending to do. Some people aren't going to get it, but I know that people have done things for me that maybe at the time I didn't respond well, but then I remembered later on that they did this kind thing for me. And so it doesn't go away. Know that it matters. Know that what you do matters. Know that your magnificence and all the wonderful things you do in the world, how you make a huge difference in the world. And using your gifts and talents. I say this over and over again, but just to stand in the truth of who you are and use your gifts and talents to support people and leave those good seeds behind that grow and become something wonderful. Kind of like the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, leaving those bean seeds in the ground and all of a sudden there's this beanstalk that grows from it and Jack was able to climb up the beanstalk and into a different realm that he didn't even know existed. So you do that for people with the seeds that you plant. And you do it for the birds and on the critters and the animal family and for plant kingdom and for Earth herself. We're all in this together and we do it well. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.